Let's talk about one of my favorite subjects. Dude, are you pooping again? My cat loves to poop whenever I start filming. Are you a DJ? Alright, so like I was saying, let's talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is how to get more done with less time. So I would say my personality, I love to hack things in a sense where it's like, okay, how can I fix something up, or how can I find a workaround? How can I hack a certain thing or a certain process in order to make it more efficient, make it easier, make it more effective, or just finding like an alternative solution to something, right? Whether that's for work, whether that's for productivity, or whether that's for doing something fun. And fun as in like doing something out of a hobby, not how to spend less time having fun, more of like how can I build something using limited resources. So whenever there's an opportunity for me to experiment and find ways on how to kind of squeeze more out of something using less time, resources, effort, whatever, right? I'm all about that. And you may or may not know, but I tend to put a lot on my plate every single week. Slowing down is one of those things that I do get to be mindful of, and it is something that I am working on, so I don't just work myself to death. But the truth is, I love to maximize my time, and I put a lot on my plate, so I'm always finding ways on how to be more productive, how to be more effective, and just how to utilize my time in a efficient manner, because there's a lot that I want to get done, and it's easy to get derailed, right? It's easy to spend hours watching YouTube. So in order for me to do some of those leisurely things, it is very important for me to stay organized and have certain systems in place so that I can follow certain processes so that I could be effective when I'm working, so I can create a little bit more time for me to just kind of laze around when I want to. And the thing I'm going to be talking about in this video, or the method, is something that we've all heard of. It is so stupidly simple, but it is something that might be just severely underutilized by most people. So the thing I'm talking about is creating a list, but a list with priorities. So the easiest way to go about this is how anyone would normally make a list. Let's just say there's 10 things that I need to do this week, and I'm gonna write all 10 things down on a piece of paper or on a spreadsheet, and you just kind of like go about it, right? Checking off each thing. So I take that approach as well. I just think about the 20 things that I would want to get done for the coming week, and I just put it on a sheet. However, I like to prioritize it, and how I do this is by really going over the list and putting it under a ABC priority. So basically what that means is A priority is any task that is very high in importance and also in urgency. So this could be anything like a work deadline, a school deadline, something that's coming up in the next couple of days, or just the following week, and like this thing is gonna have a very significant impact on if you complete it or not. So those things gets an A priority. B priorities are basically things that are still important, but they're not as urgent as the A priority. So these could be things like making payments, paying your bills, or these could also be things such as say you want to work out like 2 times this week, and you have the flexibility to kind of like move your workout days around where there's not like a set deadline for that specific task. So those could be B priorities where it's still pretty important, but in terms of the urgency, it's just not as urgent as an A priority. And C priorities are kind of little tasks that you would like to do and that you could do, but it's not gonna make a dramatic difference in your life if you don't get it done for at least like the coming week. So these things could be like, oh, you need to buy something for an upcoming event that's happening in 2 months, or it could be like meeting up with a friend to go to the bar, even though we can't go to the bars right now. And not saying that social activities are not important. This is assuming more of like you have prioritized relationships and connections in the B or A category. So this is more of like casual hangouts where it can happen anytime, right? Or it could be like, I don't know, getting your nails done. I mean, assuming that your nails are fine and acceptable, and it's not something that stresses you out, if your nails are ugly or something. So C categories are nice to do's, but they're not gonna make a big difference to your quality of life if you don't get it done this week or this month or whatever. And let me just pull this up. I don't know if you can see it, but basically I have these tasks on my phone, all the things that I would want to do for the week, and I have it categorized, prioritized A, B, C, and just there's like the A1. So you can have multiple things, right, within the same category. So say I have like 5 very important tasks that's urgent and important that I need to get done this week. I also like to put like a 1 or like a 2. So like let's say the most urgent, most important task for the week, I will put that as an A1, and then everything else that's a little bit less urgent, I could put A2 or just not put anything at all. So that way it's kind of like a prioritization on the priority. So this just helped you to just narrow down even further exactly which task needs the most urgent attention, basically. So yeah, like one of the reasons why I've been finding lists and prioritizing tasks on a list becoming more and more important to me is because like say as responsibilities grow and goals evolve or ambitions get bigger, or you just want to level up so you can reach your goals or whatever, right? I'm speaking for myself, but it's easy for me to feel overwhelmed or lose track of things on what I need to do, or like okay, like what's next, right? So without this type of physical or like visual like kind of list, it's easy for me to get and feel overwhelmed, because it's like there's 30 different things that I can be doing, but I don't know like what I should be doing. So if I get overwhelmed, then I would just end up doing nothing. And yeah, I mean, having a list is really like having a cheat sheet for me, because if I'm ever feeling like stuck or I just don't know what to do next, it's like, okay, great, like look at the sheet, look at the list, and I will know exactly what I need to do, right? So it kind of like, by making the list and prioritizing the tasks on the list, when it comes time to execute, right, to do, it takes the mental burden off of me. It takes the decision making process off of my hands. It takes away, it reduces the what they call the decision fatigue when it comes to doing your stuff. Because it's like it already takes a lot of mental and physical effort to execute on your task, right? On your to-dos. So it's like if you're gonna spend effort into doing a thing and you have to like spend all this mental energy on like, oh, okay, like what I do need to do next, right? It just adds one more draining thing to the plate. So by prioritizing your list and making a list, preferably in the beginning of the week or the week prior, it really helps free up some of that like mental drain, so that you can stay more focused on the task at hand instead of trying to scramble and figure out what you need to be doing next. So I hope that was helpful. I love hacking or talking about how to be more efficient. So I'll for sure be creating a lot more of these type of content with this type of topic. So until next time.